populated the comments yet. Nope, not yet. Oh, it says, but I'm not getting any comments. There they go. So yeah, it'll spin up over here anytime now. So here we are, drone therapy. Do you want to save the hobby or not? And it's basically, in case you were sleeping under a rock for the last 2 months, you understand that this is something that I've been preaching ever since they came up with this idea called remote ID, and that's what 4.5 years now that I've been saying that they're going to kick us out of the sky. Well, guess what? They finally sold that last hunk of real estate that said hobbyist and commercial 107 pilots. And they sold it to the industry. Because have y'all noticed, isn't it funny how lately, over the last month and a half, we have had a variety of drone delivery services being announced by Amazon, Walmart, all of them like in sequence almost, with every passing dagger that gets thrown into the DJI, heart. You get what I'm saying? Y'all noticed that?
It's a conspiracy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it seems like they've just basically sold us out.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what else to say, which is crazy. And like Caleb we've got some people that are so hell bent on getting any kind of Chinese product out of the country that now they're claiming that they're not going to stop until every piece of Chinese tech is gone. And so I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, Dan, and he's like, "Oh, I have a Japanese phone." I was like, "Yeah, but there's Chinese parts in that phone." And what sucks is everybody's just sitting here talking about, like, we all can make half-ass gear. All of us can. U.S., Japan, China. We can all make half-ass gear out of in-house stuff. But it all works so much better when, like, they take a few things from the United States, they take a few things from Japan, then they mix it with stuff in China, and you got the top-of-the-line gear. But for some strange reason, we've gone all Red Scare again. Like, I grew up with this. Bill, you grew up with this. It's just a different red.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So we're starting it all over again for some way to, I don't know, like Vic was talking about earlier. He was talking about how on Herman and Lawrence, Herman's stream, was talking about how, this is going to cripple the industry, basically. And, well, anyway, I've said too much about this. Let me say hello to everybody. Let me look over here in the window real quick and say welcome to Drone Therapy. I can say East Coast Thrills. Randy was in the house. Dusty was in the house. Randy just turned his camera back on. Mad Props Media. Randy, I said that. Drone Shots Jody, good to see you. Leonard Oglesby, glad to have you in the house as well. Flying Flynn Media. Got John, good to see you. Leonard Oglesby again. Lance Cadena, glad to see you, sir. Oh, yeah, Bob's coming to Seattle. Bob Dempsey is coming to Seattle, Dale. Little Bob Dempsey is he's coming to Tacoma.
Well, then he's got to drive down here
next week. But he's trying to put the band back together. The band is back together. So they're just going to try. It's kind of one of them spur of the moment things. He's only going to be here for like 4 or 5 days, and he's trying to put together a meetup. Lance wants to do it on a Wednesday, but I have like commitment early in the day Wednesday, and then I do this in the evening. So I'm not sure how I can pull it off as far as a Wednesday. I might commit him on Johnny Drone Flyer, good to see you. Glad to have you in the house as well. Waypoint New England, good to see you as well. Bill the Drone Viewer, Bill the Drone Reviewer, glad to see you as well, sir. TJ Giggles FPV, good to see you. Northside Hawk Dom, good to see you as well. Roll. I'm trying to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Steven Drones, good to see you. Infinity Gaming, good to see you. Justin, good to see you in the house. Okay, now I'm going to stop jabbering because I've basically not let anybody else talk really yet. And what do you all think of the situation? I will start it by saying H.R. 8070, which is the Defense Act bill. And as like Bill has said before, we all know that they're going to pass the defense bill. But it contains the Anti-CCP Drones Act, right? Isn't that correct?
The Countering CCP Drones Act, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so bad news for drones, basically kicking everybody out of drones. And so it's already come out of committee. Now the Senate will get it. What do y'all think? Let's go from there.
Well, did the House vote on this today or not? Because
57-1 for 86.
Yeah, what that was
86.
to get it from the committee to the main house for
Correct.
them to vote on it. And I don't think they voted on it because I was out there all day and I didn't see anything on that. Um, and of course, it's obfuscated. You have no idea which amendment is what, okay? Because this bill is somebody said last night on the show, 6,000 pages, the Countering CCP Drones Act. 6,000 pages, okay? God, boggles of the mind. All right. But, they were smart because they put it in, they attached it to the defense budget. Who's not going to pass the defense budget? Okay. Republicans and Democrats, of course, are going to pass the defense budget. All right. Um, I watched last night, or I watched last week. Vic was on with Original Dobo last week, and it was a really good show. And he was having very mixed feelings at that point in time about what was going to transpire because he really said it was kind of up in the air, didn't know. I mean, and I know Bill, I know myself, and I know Ron, Marcus, everybody. We were like spouting off, contact your congressman, contact your senators. I did. I emailed them. I called. I talked to aides. I mean, I left my voice out there. And what Vic said last week, which was interesting, was, they really don't read that, but what they do is they look at the number of people that have contacted their office, okay? And they kind of go from that like a bellwether, all right? But this has so many moving parts to it. It's not funny in terms of what it is. And as we discussed last night on my show, it's really not about the national security here, okay? It's so much. That's maybe 1% of it, okay? The other 99% of it is the for example, Skydio coming in and doing their thing. Adam Bry, taking over, got that nice contract with the federal government. Full House votes on it tomorrow. Good, okay. Um, you know, Adam Bry comes in. He has that wonderful contract with the federal government. Amazon with Prime Air, they've received clearance to do BVLOS flights now. This is the real crux of the matter here, okay? And then if we start going down the rabbit hole of banning everything Chinese, okay? Well, you know what? Let's start with iPhones, okay? And how many people want to give up their iPhones for this, okay?
Surely not any of the politicians down on the Hill.
Yeah. Well, what about their iPads? How are they going to function without their iPads? It's just it's a colossal mess. And I think
they're all glued to their phones all day long.
And I liked what Bill. Bill, I think I know you said this. I think it may have been in a comment this week or last week or something. You said, okay, well, who's going to pay? Do I still have to pay on these drones if I'm still paying them off? I mean,
Yeah.
Seriously, Bill brought up a good point. I mean, seriously, because we're going to have $1,500 bricks, paperweights. Are we gonna apply? You know what? Here's what I could claim it's a natural disaster and go to FEMA and see if I can get compensated for it and fill out some paperwork because it got destroyed in a national disaster and it's called the defense budget bill.
Yeah.
I know I just jumped in and I'll ask anybody in the panel, Bill, either the Bills or anybody here. Okay, now this DJI band will cover things like, I don't have one here, the action 4, the pockets, whatever. Okay, now, but let me back up here, Bill. Say I'm flying my drone. They can catch me by using remote ID and whatever, right? Well, how in the world are they ever going to catch me using my Action 4? What if I put it inside, like make it look like put it in a GoPro skin or something like that? How's anybody ever going to catch me using
Bluetooth? Bluetooth. If you start transferring like stuff to your phone or any of that, it's going to go through.
I never do that stuff anyways. I just put a memory card out and put it in the computer.
Well,
I don't think I've ever had Bluetooth.
I don't know if it'll screw. Plus, you got what you got to realize is we're not going to be able to get firmware updates anymore. So if something comes up and it's a bug, it's over.
Right. But it's I don't know. The Action 4 is pretty rock solid right now. Bugs at this point, bugs only mess things up, not.
Yeah. If they left everything the way it was.
They create bugs and not stamp them out anymore.
I'd be
like
content
like
with
the
everything
whole
I got right
DJ
now.
RC2 fiasco in the past month. The updates have created bugs. They haven't eliminated them.
Well, here I have said this a many times. The problem with this is our community. To us, it seems huge. It means we seem massive, but we really are not big enough to matter. And I guarantee you that most everybody here, this is not something that would make you vote someone out of office for. And we got to understand that that's the extent that they're banking on. They know that we're so all polarized that regardless of who puts up what and where on this particular matter, it's not big enough of an issue to where we're going to go, oh man, there's no way I'm not going to vote for this particular person because they support this bill. It's
Well,
just
Bill,
not going to happen.
well, I'll tell you this. If Miss Stefanik would resign her position in New York, move to South Jersey, run on my party's ticket, whatever's the lead candidate, I would not vote for her.
Somebody else would pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to. I said we're so polarized that my point is this the one issue that you would use, Ron, to okay, here's something else. There's a Democratic senator that's on the other bill, Mark Warner, right? So does that mean that one issue would keep you from voting for him?
Yeah, because he probably didn't do anything. He probably didn't put it past any of the legislation that I wanted to pass, anyways.
See, you're saying probably, but what if you happen to have Democratic beliefs or Republican beliefs for that matter? You're not going to say that this one issue is going to make you vote them out of the office, and they know that. They know it. That's why, like Chuck is like, we're screwed, man, and we pretty much are.
Well, that's a great point, Bill. And a couple things. Stefaniak's a lame duck because she's not running for re-election, but she's hoping to get a position possibly in another administration. Okay, let's just put
Right.
it
And
okay?
being anti-China policy is a nice feather in her cap come the time.
Yeah, and I agree with Ron about that. Okay, and the whole thing is this. Okay, if you think Stefaniak came up with this idea on her own or Warner came up with this idea, no. Okay, they were spoon fed this. Okay, this didn't come from a staffer or an aide or anything.
Or really,
Okay,
even more importantly, a constituent in her district.
yeah. Yeah, the constituent in her district. Okay, and we'll just kind of leave it at that. But here's the thing with this. Okay, Bill makes a great point. We're not going to, I don't Stefaniak. It doesn't matter. She's in New York. I'm in Florida. Okay, so and I know politics aside. Okay, you know what? Everybody's on a list as far as I'm concerned. Okay, they can get rid of them all as far as I'm concerned and start over again. But I'll tell you what, okay, it's so down and dirty, okay, and the way that they did this was attaching this to the Defense Spending Act. It was a stroke of genius on their part because nobody's going to vote that down.
Yeah, this always gets approved. This is one of the few bipartisan things that always gets voted through.
Yeah, Democrat, Republican doesn't matter. Do you want to have the Army and Navy and Air Force funded and Marines? Of course you do. Okay, you're not going to say no to that.
You're not going to not fund the armed services because of a few rogue drones.
Yeah. But
that's all they think it is.
All right, you ready to throw this one out there?
Yes.
Let's bring up the routers. Everybody's daddy goes through a router. Where 90% of the damn routers made.
Where 90% of the electrical transformers on your power poles made. Or in your power substations.
Yeah, that's
a
rabbit hole.
Chips in them.
I don't think they're prepared to go down.
Well, because they're not. They're going to put this in like a big feather, and both sides are going to scream, bipartisan, bipartisan, bipartisan. And they don't give a shit about us. So it's just, it's it. It's just done, man. I'm like, like people are saying, fly them while you got them because everybody realizes okay. I started raising immortal hell the minute they suggested remote ID. And I started screaming at that point on. I said, they're going to kick us out of the sky. They don't want us in the sky anymore.
Why'd they waste all that time for remote ID if they were just going to get to this point anyways?
I think because they didn't have the other technology that was going to kick us out of the sky hadn't caught up yet.
Okay.
But like I was also pointing out earlier, look at all these drone, like Amazon announces, we're going to have drone deliveries now. Today, Walmart announces, we're going to do drone deliveries now. They're all coming out now, after this has come out of the committee and is actually going to the floor and it's going to go over to the House, and then it's going to take a little riff-raffing back and forth before they knock it out the final bill. And so either this administration or the next administration is going to sign it into law. And I'll be honest with you, I predict if it's the next if we switch administrations, it's going to go faster. If it stays the same, I think it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's not going to matter who stays in office or comes into office new. It's a done deal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether Biden, Trump, or Mickey Mouse is the next president.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it will go faster though if Trump gets into office. It will be. We'll have like 8 months if Trump gets into office. We'll have like maybe 18 if it stays with this particular administration. But that's it. It's going to be gone.
What are the chances are you think DJI has a plan B in case this happens?
Well, can you tell me what the plan B could possibly be? And
well, it's already what's the build, the Kahita drones, or what's that drone you have, Bill?
It's Spectre Air, the Spectre Mini. And I have the Spectre Mini, okay? And I haven't heard from them. They're saying it's coming out in July. But Spectre is a white label for DJI, okay? And the Spectre Air is a white label for DJI. They're exactly the same. Our good friends
I'm gonna catch up.
Half Chrome Drones, Jack. I mean, you know, I had him on the show, and I talked to him at length about it. He's just 100% DJI. And the same thing, because I had the Spectre Mini. It's 100% DJI. It just doesn't have DJI labeling on it. That's the only thing. It's the fly app. It's everything. Right? Now, the only difference is it's made in Malaysia. All right. But according to the bill, because it has Chinese components, it would be slated for that too. And this would also include our good friend Randall Warnes, who I'm going to have on next Tuesday night from Anzu Robotics. It's going to include his drones too, because his parts are made over. It's assembled in Malaysia, but made over in China. Okay,
Bill, it's almost unbelievable that the Walmart and Amazon drones do not have any Chinese parts in them.
I'm going to find it really hard to believe that, Ron. I really do.
Well, they're not going to go after the rest of them. They're not. They're going to stop with this, and they're all going to put a feather in their cap and say, we worked across the table for hours and hours and years and years and years to accomplish this for you and your first responders. And like Vic was pointing out earlier, man, there's not going to be any money in the fund because they're going to strangle DJI to the point to where they're going to say, screw it, we're not going to import anymore. Screw it, we're not going to do it. So where in the hell are they going to get all that tariff money from to be building all these better U.S. drones?
From Alcal and FEMI and...
Well, that's what I'm saying. These companies, I mean, can you imagine? FEMI's not going to be able to afford to import.
Yeah, FEMI and Holy Stone, not going to happen. They'll be gone. Well, you know, the other thing too is this. Okay, you know, here comes, you know, they have this big grandiose plan and they're executing and everything. Okay, all right. So what are first responders going to do from now on? Okay, you know, there's nothing waiting in the wings to take care of things for that. What are these companies who do power line inspections and gas inspections and safety inspections? What are they going to do? Okay, how are they going to get this taken care of? You know, there's more questions than answers.
There is that Japanese drone. Dale's got one of them.
Soten drone. Yeah.
Yeah, the Soten.
Yeah,
but they don't have a commercial. They don't have a consumer drone.
And Dale, that drone doesn't have any Chinese components at all in it.
No, it's NDAA compliant.
Okay.
Yeah. So see,
and they'll have a smart controller next month that for it. So.
And it's funny, man, how it had that sticker on it and it wasn't even approved yet. Right? That's great.
What's that?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying when Soten was coming into the country, it hadn't met all this criteria, and then wham, back. I thought it was like the first to actually get that sticker, wasn't it?
I don't know. I mean, it's been NDAA compliant. The drone itself has been. It's just the remote, the smart controller remote was not NDAA compliant, or they was coming. So they actually are releasing that this month, and then next month they have the NDAA compliant um, smart controller.
Well,
But it right now, when you buy it, it comes with a remote that then you have to put your cell phone in or a tablet.
Your Chinese
Which
made cell phone?
Now,
exactly.
couldn't they move like manufacturing and production to another country, and they just send some
No,
parts?
but they
That's a
want the SDK, they want the schematics. They basically what they want to do is force DJI to catch the United States drone technology up like that. And
I
if
mean,
not, they're going to make them pay through the nose so that they can pay spies to give them all that technology.
Well,
so
you know what I saw today, and I saw this, and I got really taken aback by it because this might happen. I saw somebody had posted this in a group that they'll do a compromise and get this out of the bill if DJI provides all their technology to a 100% U.S. company and everything is made here in the United States. I saw something about that today as well too.
I mean, that's
Which
TikTok. That's the TikTok move, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
TikTok. Yeah,
Right.
like TikTok did.
Well, we talked about this a little bit last night. Everybody in the show. Okay, now TikTok, they of course they've already been banned or whatever, but it's coming up. But they're going to go. They're going to take the legal action now and go to court. When this bill is all set, DJI could go to court, especially in the civil court, and make the lawmakers prove that they're handing information over from to the Chinese military. So there's civil action, and that'll go to court, and this is going to have to pass a judge and a jury at that point. So the game's not over yet. Even if one of the votes said there's still, I mean, DJI still has enough money to hire a brown shoe law firm to take on the government in this case.
Okay, so Curtis is asking what actually happened today. So I'm
Okay.
going to say this. Curtis, you're going to have to go into podcast mode when you're dropping the gas.
I watched it. Looked like they just sat there and argued about Merrick Garland all day.
Yeah, that's what it was. They really, it really, what it ended up in a nutshell, they voted out of committee from 57-1, okay, to
Yep.
attach it to the, and I forget the HR, I think it's 8070, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
the 2025 Defense Appropriations Act, okay,
Right.
and
That's
it's
what we're talking about.
6,000 pages long, 6,000 pages. That boggles my mind, okay. That's more that's like way over what my divorce was.
Bill, and all those congressmen read every page, right?
And long story
Exactly.
Oh
short,
no,
Curtis,
it's
and
deep in the
long
weeds.
story short, Curtis, what happened was contained within that Appropriation Act or the bill to pay for the defense budget was the Countering CCP Drone Act, the one where they thumb their nose at DJI and all that stuff. So that's what we're all talking about. That it's already come out of committee in the House. It goes. They think it's going to go before a full vote tomorrow, and then it goes to the Senate where they get their version. And then, but I'm still, like I said, I think, like I said, that the end is still here.
Bill, everybody was saying it was 50. The vote was 57-1 today.
To get
That
that
was to
into
take it out of committee.
out of committee.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't the full House vote. The full
And
House.
who was the one who voted against?
Yeah, I'd like to know. Well, it's probably out on the register. You can look it up. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so convoluted going out there. I went out to live.gov.house, and that's where I actually watched them voting on all these. There are like 30 or 40 amendments to this bill. Okay, it's just mind-boggling what they do and how the wheels of justice turn. I mean, you want to get an instant headache? Watch about 15 minutes of that feed. Okay, it's insanity. All right, just parliamentary rules, procedures, all that. I'm like, you know what? It's wow. It's just way out of whack.
Bill, you'd have called Rick Scott up and get him to blow that bill up.
Well, now this is interesting, okay, because I called both my senators' offices, Marco Rubio is one of my senators, and Rick Scott is the other one. Okay.
For some strange reason,
Marco didn't have a human being to answer the phone. I called them both at the Washington number and the local number here in Florida. Okay. Now I called Rick Scott's office. I had a staffer answer immediately. Okay. And I gave my name and phone number and zip code and everything and email address. And sure enough, I got a response from Rick Scott. I was pretty impressed by that. I also got a response back from my congressman, who's Vern Buchanan. Okay. Because I called him and I talked to a staffer there, and I told him what's going on. Okay. And, and see, the thing is, and one of the things that I told people, especially last week, don't call and, and be like a 3-year-old and say, they're going to take my drones away from me. They're being mean. Okay. You need to really be careful in how you leave your messages with these people. Okay. You want to say, and one of the things I said, thousands of American jobs are going to be lost if this bill passes, okay? And it's also going to hurt first responders across the country as well. Those are my 2 big points right there, okay?
Good.
And and I got it to the staffer, they got it, and I got appropriate responses back, like they acknowledged it. So I felt like I did
thousands of jobs,
good.
Tens of thousands of jobs.
Ron Brown for Congress.
Hey, so you mentioned that
Barkley said Ron Brown for Congress.
You mentioned that Rubio is your Congress or your representative there,
Senator.
Senator. So he commented on the Cogito and Anzu, and he says any drone affiliated with Chinese Communist Party should be on the Federal Communications covered list, regardless of which brand name it is sold under.
Yeah.
He made it clear in a statement that he wanted a broad targeting of Chinese drones and affiliates. And then on top of that, Stefanik said, this desperate attempt to evade tariffs and sanctions is futile. DJI and all of its shell companies will be held accountable.
Exactly.
Randy mentioned something earlier about them, going elsewhere to manufacture them. Okay. DJI had approached the United States to build a factory and do this here, okay? And I know Lon commented on this, I think, last week and maybe this week on my show, okay? And they got turned down, okay? They were going to build a plant here in the United States, would employ Americans, okay? Everything would have been made here, not sourced from China, and they turned it down, all right? Flat out.
So they're not willing to deal.
Yeah, apparently not.
That's awful.
So, okay, let's go back to the basics. So this bill today, it specifically said DJI today. I know that it's another bill out there that mentions all Chinese drones. But this one is just zeroing in on DJI as a sole company, right? Am I correct?
I believe so, but I think the language in there, Ron, I think it says any components that are made over in China, okay? And I think that's the crux of it. And that's where things like Specta and Anzu Robotics end up getting in trouble, because originally people thought it was where it was manufactured. No, it's not where it's manufactured. The bill is really specific on it goes to where the parts are made. All the parts are made over in China.
Well,
how hard would it be?
2864 says specifically calls out DJI and any subsidiary or affiliate thereof, and also calls out for any telecommunications or video surveillance services, including software provided by an entity described in subparagraph A.
Yeah, that's good, Dale. That's good.
It's not, it doesn't say Autel, but then I think the first responders one talks about Autel.
Autel, yeah, and see, it's just they're just spinning in circles here. Now, I did hear something today also too, is they said tomorrow there may be some wheeling and dealing. There may be DJI may put some pressure on some, have some lobbyists put some pressure on some of these congressmen and, try to make some changes to this. I think they're spitting in the wind, but if they can get it done, fine. I would be all for it, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Hey, I know Bill Thomas set the way, but we have props off in the chat. He says, I missed it. Did the House pass it? Well, so far it's passed in committee, right, Bill?
Right. It passed committee 57 to 1. now it's going to go to the full House for a vote tomorrow. So, you know what? Get on the phone, call your congressman up tomorrow. I mean, it can't hurt. It absolutely can't hurt.
Hope,
Well,
hope somebody answers the phone.
pinned at the top of the chat, you'll see the Drone Advocacy Alliance, and it's basically DJI helping you hook up with your local people so that you can
Right.
tell them that you think this sucks. So you can click on it. It will help you get to where you need to go and who you need to talk to.
Now, is
Hey
this
Bill,
bill going to be?
we got Grumpy Vlogger in the chat here. He's asking, so will they brick our drones we already own, or does
That's what I
anyone
was
know
getting
for
ready
sure?
to say.
That's an
Yeah.
unknown. That's a real unknown at this point. I would
If
say
they-
the bricking of it won't happen immediately,
No, but it will happen.
but I think it will eventually happen. And well, here's the thing, okay? Here's mine. And I know Bill's talked about this as well too. Okay, add up the total cost of our drones and what we spent on them. Okay, and in our Action 4 and our Pocket 3 and everything, and batteries and accessories and everything. I mean, it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of money, and it's like, okay, I'm going to have a real expensive paperweight sitting there. Okay, so I'm expecting, and this is just me, is maybe the Drone Advocacy Alliance can say, okay, well, federal government, are you going to compensate people for taking away their drones?
I think they call it reparations, right, Bill?
Reparations. Are you going to give us reparations? I mean, reparations is a big buzzword past 2 years. Why not give us reparations for our drones?
And if we had to turn them in to get the reparations, that would get them, that would get drones, out of the hands of people who may fly them anyways if they would pay to have them brought in, turned in.
Well, I also saw today somebody said, well, you know what? Problem solved. I'm just going to go visit Lauren up in Canada and buy some drones off of him. DJI drones. I'm like, whoa. I don't think it works like that, guys. I don't think it would be that easy for you to do that.
I know we don't really know the answer to this question, but the day when we'll say 18 months, Bill Thomas mentioned 18 months. Say the 18 months comes and goes, and DJI is banned. So you think that same day you can't fly your DJI drone is the same day you can't fly your Altel drone?
Good question.
Well, it's not going to be for 5 years, right? They're going to mark them up for the next 4.5 to 5 years.
So DFR is for the tariffs that stack. So you got two different bills going on here.
Yeah, and,
Right.
and we're talking about the CCP one's the first one. The second one hasn't come up.
The CCP one is the FCC list. So basically, it's just going to ban anything new coming into the U.S. Period.
Right.
Okay.
So you'll still be able to fly
DJI
your-
somehow can prove like certain communications, otherwise it won't happen. So that is going forward new stuff. It doesn't ban old stuff.
Yeah, but like say for instance, if Altel is somehow going to slip over, maybe the new drones are going to have tariffs and whatever. But what if I have a current drone? I just buy a whole bunch of batteries for it and fly the Altel Nano Plus for the next 10 years.
Well,
It doesn't really get any software
Batteries
updates.
in good
It
working
doesn't really get
condition.
any software updates anymore, anyways. So
well, our buddy Asidalev today, if you looked out on Twitter, he said, and who's the other guy? Not
Igor?
not Igor, the other guy that used to go-
the guy prevented the Air 4 leak with the drone being left on the street.
Yeah, he
see the
said it was
comment?
like a Mavic 4 sitting there, left on the street that you could see very clearly. Okay, so and like everybody knows that these leaks don't happen by accident; it's done on purpose. Okay.
Although that was an Air 3S, I think they were trying to say, because it only had two lenses. Did you see the comment down here?
Yeah. yeah.
Does she need a FCC certification?
Yeah, or
I think
she'll get
you're right.
tariffed.
Yeah.
Who said what? Wait a minute. What did we miss? Marcus said somebody said something.
Probably something I said. Probably something I said about flying Altel drones for the next 10 years. Altel Nano Plus.
Okay, but the countering CCP is all Chinese built drones, people. It's not just. I mean,
That,
DJI
that's
might be.
Can somebody highlight that wording? I mean, I've never seen that. Whatever, copy and paste it, and he plays all Chinese drones.
Okay,
So,
what do you think CCP
DFR is
stand?
all products. It's products of China that are classified in subheadings noted for whatever temporary exemptions. Subheading 9903, which is a tariff section.
But that's that's not in the bill they're voting on today. That's the other bill.
That's the DFR, not the one. The one that was for today, that was voted on today, is specifically DJI.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at, right? So there's no guarantee the other bill will pass. Maybe they won't be able to hide that in his military bill or whatever. So maybe that one won't get passed, and that'll allow the Altels, the FEMEs, and all the other little second tier drone makers, to somehow still stay
They'll
in business.
just
Of course, with
claim
big
they're
tariffs
all
on them.
DJI shell companies. They'll say every damn one of them because listen what the title of the act is. It's not countering DJI Drones Act. It's countering CCP. And what does CCP stand for?
Chinese Communist Party.
The
There you
title
go.
of the bill itself tells you all Chinese-made drones. Now, it might say DJI listed in it, but the title itself tells you that they're classifying all Chinese drones. The title is, it's like I said, it's not, countering DJI drones. It's countering, oh, shut up, Pepsi bottle.
It specifically does say the communications equipment or service being A, telecommunications or video equipment produced by Shenzhen Dajing Innovation Sciences and Technology Companies Limited, commonly known as DJI Technologies, or any subsidiary or affiliate thereof.
So they'll just say because they're all controlled by the Communist Party, they're all DJI shell companies. Because what is the whole point? They're saying that DJI is a shell company of what? The Chinese government. So they're all shell companies of DJI because who is the top of the line of drone manufacturer in the world? DJI.
Soon to be all those American drone making companies that are going to take over now.
Well, I totally get it. It says DJI everywhere, but they aren't calling it the Countering DJI Drones Act.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving the title itself to saying Communist Party drones. And just like Dale read it out, they're going to say that they're all shell companies of the Chinese government. Therefore, they're all shell companies of their peak or their premier creator, DJI. So that's it. They're all right there. It's all neat and tied up with a bow and done.
Of course, the thing is, why do they? If they're saying all Chinese drone companies, why do they bother to say the word DJI a million times in the bill? If it's, they don't mention they don't mention Phoebe and all the other little companies in the bill.
Because they didn't need to. They said, remember, Dale read the wording itself. They said about affiliates or shells or
any subsidiary or affiliate thereof.
Yeah, so and what does the U.S. government, the reason that they're using that to shut them down, because DJI works for who? The Chinese government. So everything, simply by them saying that the premier manufacturer is on this list, they can just, all they have to do is say, yep, all these other countries, they work for DJI. And because probably they're right. One or two of the DJI technicians probably works in every one of those plants now.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say Hudson and stuff that they're not a DJI. It's pretty obvious that they're not the same kind of quality. A Swell Pro or something like that. It specifically calls out the company's name that goes on the covered list.
But how easy would it be to do what I'm saying?
You would have to have the company's name on the covered list. So then they would have to list every single name.
But they're saying that they're kind of already doing that by saying shell companies and da 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 da. Because the reason that we're saying that they're forbade from being here is Chinese technology.
That'd be like saying Ford, and then GMC is part of Ford, and Chrysler is part of Ford, and Tesla's part of Ford.
Well, see, I think one of the things here with this, okay, I think in terms of language, it needs to be very specific here because I think a company, say like Anzu Robotics in Randall, I think he can get away with this, okay, because he's not a subsidiary.
What?
He licensed his information, or he licensed. I read the article in Drone DJ, and he's paying a licensing fee to DJI, okay. So technically, this really, it's a gray area, but it's not specifically listing Anzu Robotics, okay? And it's not specifically listing what he's doing, all right? And I think the same could be applying to Specta as well too. That's just my 2 cents worth. I'm not a lawyer, but
Okay, I want to address what he brought up down here, but I wanted to quickly say anybody that hasn't noticed that Gary's not here, Nemo's not here, he is having all kinds of computer trouble. But yes, he bought an Avata 2, and I dropped the news to him that he might not be able to use it too much longer, and he's studying to get his 107. I thought that was was going to be the big reveal.
Oh,
And
man.
But did you see this? 7 members of the Homeland Security are saying that drones are too dangerous for common citizens.
And what information are they basing that on?
Right.
He's saying
That's
that
what I was
that they're
thinking.
it's been televised, that it's
They
within
must
the
have
minutes
been
as well.
watching Mikey
Yeah, yeah.
and Ken Aaron.
I think the average vehicle is more dangerous than a drone.
Well, from what Dale is saying though, that even if they do that, that it's anything like all our stuff that we have now should be okay. Is that what you're saying? Because I've heard people giving me all kinds of different things that they're saying, like Bill was saying, that we're going to have paperweights.
You know how much
Right.
crap they would get if they bricked everybody's drone?
Not enough to people getting thrown out of office. Nope, not enough.
Yeah,
I think
and
they'll say,
unless they bricked, I don't know, Bill
I don't
Gates'
even.
drone, and he had the money. He had money to hire enough lawyers to go after him.
Randy, I'll be honest with you. I don't even think they would reach around and they'd laugh as they were leaving. I mean, I'm
there's
serious.
a lot. There's too many unknowns with this. Okay, if it passes, what happens? That's a big unknown. That is a huge unknown right now. I mean, they could go ahead and they can say, okay, what you have can all be grandfathered in. You're good with that, and maybe throw us a bone with a firmware update every now and then, that kind of a thing. But from a certain point going forward, you're not going to be able to purchase any new DJI drones. But the problem comes with something like, for example, batteries, okay? Because, your drone eventually is going to need new batteries, that kind of thing, okay? How long would those be available? Now, I'll go back to...
Well, Bill, let me stop
But
before
it,
you
but it covers
before I
all
go in there.
software.
Okay, they're still going to make the drones for the rest of the world. So could you buy a battery internationally?
That could be possible. You could buy it on eBay, but, you might be under
Come on,
scrutiny from the
Goofy, it's
government for doing that.
me.
Mm-hmm.
I
John
mean,
trying because I was gonna come on, man. It's me, John. It's me. Think about it. I've got to come up with the doomsday scenario because,
Or maybe
like I
you're
said,
the shell company of FEMI.
well, I
There he
mean,
is. There's Angel. Angel's in here. Angel.
what do you think of
Uh,
all this, Angel?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Angel, they're
What's up,
coming. They're
Angel?
coming for your Mavic 3.
I hear that, and I guess we'll still be flying.
Well, you can move to Canada,
Where we
Angel.
gonna
You're,
fly
you're already
at?
close enough.
I've already went to Canada, so I'll fly the Mini 3 over there in Canada.
Angel, you could just do some of your cityscapes. You can get it like a 360 camera and put it on a super long pole.
Exactly. I'll just
Holy shit, Brian, buddy.
Oh, Brian's been a grandfather
Brian,
too.
hey, what's up, man? But he was saying, yeah, like yeah. So that's. I feel
Brian,
better
watch
now.
all the scooters you have.
Don't buy
made in
any
China,
new
too.
DJI products after the bill passes. You think it would be so? Okay, seriously, you think it would be too hard for them to find a way to legally? But the whole point is these are the drones they're blaming it on. They're not blaming it on the new shit. They're blaming it on these drones. So I don't see how they're gonna save face by going, that's okay. Everything from this point on is just gonna be grandfathered in. But these are the drones they're blaming it on. The ones we're flying
Yeah,
right
but
now.
it's all smoke and mirrors. I think
Well,
I think
I'm
there's
going
a
to go
bigger
to something. Our good friend Bob Dempsey. He said he talked to a congresswoman or a congressperson. All right, and said that they can't tell him what the national security concerns are, but there are national security concerns. And I'm like, okay, you know what? People have been asking these congressmen and senators about national security concerns about DJI drones for like the last 3 or 4 years. And nobody has said a thing about that, not one word. I mean, if you want to break this down to brass tacks, okay, and somebody could legitimately file DJI found a great legal firm, they could file a lawsuit against the federal government saying, you know what, these are bogus charges, fraud, that kind of thing. They can come at them for that. I
At the
mean,
least, a case like that'll probably hold this up from happening.
yeah,
Because a
it
case
could
like
it
that
could
could drag on for
put the
years,
brakes
Bill.
to all this. So, DJI, and one thing I do want to say in all this, DJI's not going to sit by and twiddle their thumbs. Frank Wang is not going to be drinking his tea tomorrow morning and have us and read his newspaper and have a smile on his face. Okay, they're going to take some action with this. What they'll do is I don't know, but I think they're going to take some action. They're not going to take this sitting idly by. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask the question I think we need to be asked. Okay, we talked about the DJI, whatever, Mavic 4, Air 4, it doesn't matter, Air 3S. The next drone is coming. The guy on Twitter predicted August 1st. Either the Bills or anybody in the chat here, will that next drone be approved by the FCC on August 1st? Or whatever day it comes out. Will the next DJI drone get the FCC approval?
I
The
believe
the
so.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're gonna get a new drone anytime soon. When all this shit started getting heavy, when all these bills started throwing out, and this, don't you remember I was telling you? I said the problem is they've already got a foothold, and it's just going to get worse. And I was like, people be laughing. DJI's not going anywhere. DJI's not going anywhere. I started screaming about this when Remote ID came out, man, and people were just laughing at me then. I'd have Billy Kyle on the show. Oh, it never happened, never. Ah. And now Billy's making videos saying we can't let this happen, and I'm like, where were you, man?
Yeah.
Everybody. Oh, Bill's full of shit. Bill's full of shit. Bill's full of shit. And if we'd actually, I honestly don't know what all. Like Ron said, yeah, they can drag it out in court for a little while, but they got rid of Huawei.
Well, that
They
did
did.
take a while.
But they did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But somebody says
Yeah,
somebody says Huawei is still used all over the U.S.
You're right here.
now.
So John's saying the current language adds DJI to the FCC covered list. So that means all new equipment, not just drones,
Yeah.
gimbals,
Okay.
action cameras,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So what John's saying is that the Air 4, it doesn't matter what you call it, Mavic 4, Air 4, that drone will not be coming to the U.S. That'll be just a drone for the rest of the world.
Billy,
Well,
your
You're
camera
saying
looks
that, right?
like
You're
three
saying
frames a
that
second.
when the next DJI drone comes out, it will not come out in the U.S. Is that what we're saying?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I really don't.
you don't think so?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
because
I'm gonna
something's going
disagree.
on
I'm
with
gonna
my
disagree
internet
here.
tonight. My bandwidth's going up and down. So
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree here, and I think this is why I think we will see it because the process, because okay, the House passes it, and it's going to go to the Senate, and I'm going to tell you this, okay, they're going to debate this. This isn't going to go like 1 or 2 days. This is going to be several, at least a couple of weeks, if not more. Okay, now
I bet it blows through, man.
that timeline that goes on from this, okay, once it gets passed, it has to be entered into the National Registry. Once it gets into the National Registry, it goes to Biden for his signature. Okay, so that's at least at best scenario 6 weeks to 2 months out. Okay, so under the current rules, that's how the FCC has to abide. So that's what they would do. They would go ahead. Let's say it's an Air 4 or Air 3S or a Mavic 4 or whatever it is. Okay, it would get approved because it's under the current law. There is no past law. So until it gets entered in the National Register and Biden signs it, it's not law. So I think with the time delay and everything, I think it'll happen. I think they'll get another.
Okay, let me ask the second part
I
of that
agree.
question, Bill. Would you be willing to say fork up $1,500 to $2,000 for an Air 4 flyboard combo that 12 months from now you may not be able to fly?
If somebody buys it for me, I'll be happy.
Did Barkley say something in the chat that I missed earlier or something? Or was he just trying to say?
I missed it too. His
I
previous
feel bad now.
His previous message was saying, "Hi, grumpy vlogger." What do you got there, Dale? A raptor.
Raptor.
Raptor team.
Made in Malaysia.
Oh wow, no Chinese parts.
Oh wow, so it's you got the Anzu, huh?
So this is funny though, but if you look at this box,
It's a DJI box.
Oh,
Are we going to get a live unboxing there, Dale?
Here we go.
I
The
didn't figure out
Anzu.
where they put it because I was busy all day.
Oh, it comes with a case.
oh, nice.
Hey, I bet it looks a lot like a DJI drone.
I bet it's
Big
green.
Shark guy. Green remote.
RC Pro.
Okay.
I swear
Snazzy.
they need to call it John Deere. Ooh. Oh,
I
look
like
at
that.
the
I'm
gimbal
liking that
cover.
green.
Look at that gimbal cover.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
ribbed. It's ribbed on top.
It's ribbed for her pleasure.
Ribbed.
That's a good cover.
The box is funny because it's like a reverse of the
That's a nice box.
Mavic 3T Enterprise.
Dale, I
Oh,
hope that
wow.
case isn't made in China.
How many batteries
Right.
did you get with that,
As
Dale?
long as it's not Bluetooth enabled, he's okay.
Oh, we got both colors.
Ooh, wait a minute. Let me make it big. Let me make him big again.
It looks smaller.
Does look a little smaller.
That's the
It
same
looks
size.
like the old.
The green makes everything look small, Randy.
Yeah, Bill, that's a smart controller. That's
It
the.
looks like the
Enterprise.
smart controller mold. It looks like the old smart controller mold.
But it has the RC Pro antennas.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
In the stick
RC
position.
Pro Raptor remote controller.
Not made in China.
Yeah, but the basic software that runs it's still DJI, right? It's just not.
Well, let's not give them any information, Bill.
That's a nice box. You can use it for something else after the ban.
All software made in Malaysia.
Keep it steady.
code.
Oh, made in China.
Made in
China.
China.
Delaware. Wilmington, Delaware.
Oh wow!
My understanding on this, just so you know, is that was a mistake on the manufacturing. It's not made in China.
Right.
Okay, mistake.
That'll fool them.
I was told that. I was told that ahead of time.
They made a mistake and forgot to lie.
Why I knew it was there.
Hey, Bill, I gotta cut out because I gotta get up at 5:15 a.m. to get
Well,
to
I
work.
appreciate
so
you coming on and enjoying us.
thank you so much for
talking about
having me
this.
on. It was a great panel, great show. Loved being on tonight, and we'll cross our fingers for the best for
Yeah,
everybody.
hopefully next
Yes,
time we
yes,
have you on,
yes.
Bill, it's under better circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Hopefully, have good news next time.
Yeah, it's good too. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank
you
you.
guys
Have
are
a
all
good night.
great.
Bill. Have
Take
a good
care,
night,
guys.
man.
Oh wow, though. But okay. So something else I want to. I know that Tom was on earlier with I think Herman and them. No, he was on with Johnny and them. I do believe. And they were. Here's the thing. People are talking about machines asking for tips and tipping for great service and all this shit. And I'm going to set the record straight as a boy who grew up in a home where mama, her main job was a waitress. Okay? Tips were because they got paid sub-minimum wage to wait on those tables. And because a lot of your small restaurants and stuff back in the day didn't have a whole lot of extra money to pay them. So a customer would come in, they would help the establishment as well as the waitress by giving them a tip to offset that money that they would ordinarily make to get minimum wage. Okay, and now all these arrogant little farts that are making minimum wage at $15 to $17 an hour, they don't deserve any tip. It's not like if I go to the doctor's office and he says, "Hey, I just saved your life. How about that tip?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Did
happen that way.
Did you
That'll be
see
coming
Trump was
soon,
talking
Bill.
about doing away with taxing on tips?
But the whole point is it's not. It wasn't done because of quality service. It was done as a way to help small businesses, small restaurant businesses who would struggle ordinarily trying to pay all that help. They allowed their customers, they gave them a good deal when they came in to eat on the food, so that then in turn the customer could tip the waitress. So that, and here's how it used to work, you got enough tips to equal minimum
Minimum wage.
wage.
Yeah.
And then you were supposed to turn the rest of it in and you were taxed in a different bracket. But
Yeah.
now it's gotten blown way the hell out of proportion because that's not the way it was set up to begin with. It was set up to help small businesses because it's a pain in the ass to try to pay people that wage. So it was helpful if you liked the food that you were eating, that you were getting served from the kitchen, then you tipped the waitress. So that enabled that restaurant to do better and keep going. That's the way it worked out.
Yeah.
So this point now of tipping should be over with because
Some
everybody gets a set wage.
some places still have like a below minimum wage
Yeah.
pay that they have for
Yeah.
servers.
Right.
Specifically. Things that are messed up is one is where they have house tip sharing. How does that work unless everybody's paid minimum wage? Okay, I get that. That changes things up. Or if everyone is paid minimum wage, like 15, 16, 17, $20 in Seattle, whatever it is now, or at non-Paneras in California. The other thing is that I pulled into a drive-thru and they asked for a tip. I was like, what? What was pointed out to me is that the credit card companies are automatically putting that on their thing, so the credit card companies can take a little vig off the tip.
Uh-huh.
And they also are setting it so that they have the minimums of the tip as 20, 22, 25%.
Right.
Here's his Ford's tip.
Grumpy gave us the tip, yeah. Well, according to what we read, they don't buy any drones except the American-made drones.
Well, in NDA compliant drones, I guess is what you use.
And is there a list anywhere of the NDA compliant drones?
But
I suppose none of those
Like,
NDA compliant
you
drones
get
are on the
Barrett
shelf at
drones,
Walmart.
Sultan drones.
Sorry.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. You're not going to go to Walmart and find any of those NDA compliant drones. So yeah, okay. I said this before, Bill. So you mean in whatever 18 months now, whenever everything's finalized, the stock boy at Walmart's gonna have to go and take every drone off the shelf at Walmart
Okay, wait a minute.
and every Walmart in the country.
I gotta correct something here.
Okay.
You mean bribe your waitress for prompt service? Let's not, because that's not what it's for. You just admitted I have to bribe my waitress so that she'll bring me my pop with with my meal, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Was you have to tip early for the bribe? Does the tip come before the food?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go. There you go. You look at her and smile, and you start crinkling. You start smelling that $100 bill every time she walks by.
Yeah.
And then pull out the 5. Oh, okay.
Well, nobody can afford to eat out anymore, Bill, so it's not that much of an issue.
We don't eat out much.
Nobody can afford to eat out anymore. Unless it's McDonald's.
You can't eat beef. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go, since we're really kind of going squirrel anyway.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and give my streaming prediction, or not prediction, but streaming. What do I want to say? Streaming recommendation for this week.
Okay, good.
Streaming recommendation for this week.
Yeah.
Look at
If
the
you
glass
don't have
comment.
it, if you have a chance to see it, you need to see the movie Civil War.
You mentioned it last week.
I'm telling you again. You need to watch that
And
movie.
what's it on, Bill?
Well, I had to buy it. It was on. I got it from what is that one? Fandango.
Fandango. Okay.
Yeah, I bought it online.
Yeah. I usually wait until they don't have to pay the $25 for them or whatever.
Okay, so here's so Bill was thinking that there is going to be an Air 3S or 4 very
Or
soon.
Mavic for whatever drone's coming at the end of the summer.
That picture wasn't that picture was of a 2-lens drone. No, that's why I don't think it's.
Well, you saw a different picture. I did. The picture I saw, you couldn't. It was a side angle. All you could see was the giant gimbal.
Yeah, Lawrence had a picture that he put up on their show. And
Jasper Ellens, we couldn't think of that name really. Jasper
Yeah,
posted pictures this
Jasper.
morning, but the drone was kind of in a profile, so you could not actually see the lenses on Jasper's picture. But it looked like the body of an Air 3 with the gimbal of a Mavic.
No,
3.
you can see. Yeah, you can. Hang on, I got it. You can tell it's not that wide. It's not. It looks like the two setup.
Because
Hang
I
on.
looked at it on my phone, Bill, so you probably see a lot better on
Let's
a
see
big
if I
screen
can
than on my
do
iPhone.
this. Share. Okay.
But while you're sharing that, everybody's saying to watch Hitman on Netflix. That's the show to watch. The movie. It's a movie.
Okay. Here's my other prediction. This is on Discovery, or recommendation. We've been binging the hell out of Gold Rush.
Gold Rush.
Yes.
You mean like the California Gold Rush?
Well, Yukon, and then
Yukon.
it's kind of funny that one of the guys actually he's going all over the planet looking for gold. See, to me, that looks like an Air 2, or not an Air 2, but an Air 3 picture. Let me see if I can make it bigger.
But doesn't that gimbal look bigger than the Air 3?
Like you said, from the side, you can't really tell for sure, but remember there were 2 lenses on top of the Air 3 frame.
Correct. Air 3
Okay,
Pro.
and you can even the original there was the first one had one on top and one on the bottom, right? No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it was, I don't know. I still think that looks more like an Air 3 or Air 3S or an Air 4. That's what I see anyway. But other people are saying it's bigger and it looks
The gimbal looks bigger.
Yeah, it does. And you see what Jasper's saying in his text there. He's saying we see an Air 3 like design, but a larger camera. It looks like it's from the Mavic 3 Pro.
And I'm just now look how huge those props are. All fanned out, man. They're damn near the length of the drone. And
then he said, could this be the widely desired 1-inch? Well, if it's a camera from the Mavic 3 Pro, that's a 4/3. So,
or they do what everybody's been asking for. Let me go ahead and stop this, and I'll stop the share.
Put this way, Bill. None of us Air 3 fans want that third camera. Whatever. We don't want that zoom camera from the Mavic 3.
I don't know. It could be. Yeah, that's very similar to the way it's sitting in that camera. But yeah, what they've done is it looks like they've mashed it and spread it out a little bit more. But yeah, it does look to be a bigger drone. I will admit to that. It does look to be a bigger drone.
We have a bad dog.
I have a bad dog. The
dog's upset about the drone bill.
It's upset about the new regulations.
Yeah.
So.
And not what would you buy?
There you go. There's Dale's. He was like, I'm tired. What non? We don't. There's not.
Does it mean the Holy Stone's going to be out of business too?
There's not. Well, no. According to what everybody's thinking right now, is that this won't affect the other Chinese drones. Because Dale's got a point. He's like, Hubson isn't up to standard with DJI. None of those drones are really up to standard with DJI.
None ever going to hurt American Drone Company.
Right. So, wait a minute. Building your own allows you to
American Drone Company doesn't want their technology.
Right. So, I just think they don't want us in the sky, man. Because, I saw an advertisement today for I think it was on CNN, that they're about ready to start putting in air taxis.
And
Yes.
then why haven't we had flying cars? You know, it's supposed to have them by now.
Are those flying
Free.
cars and air taxis going to have Chinese parts in them?
Back to the Future.
Yeah. Will those flying cars have Chinese parts in them?
Of course not. They're going to be made in Mexico.
With Chinese technology?
I don't know. I wonder if like the Jetson's going to get grounded now. The Jetson 1.
Yeah.
Probably some.
They considered a drone, but I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Unless it's beef. For some strange reason, the cow is golden.
Now, Bill, what's this going to mean to the FPV community that uses DJI Air 3 units as their cameras and
Won't be able
their?
to use it. Won't be able to get stuff imported into the U.S.
Yeah, the new stuff won't work.
They won't have new stuff.
It won't be an Air Unit 4.
Okay, Dale works in the field. Do you think there's going to be another DJI drone imported this year?
If it goes on the list, I don't know what the implementation of the law is. Like, is it effective immediately? Is it effective on all new licenses? Maybe there's a few licenses already set for this year, or does it take 90 days to go into effect, like many state laws do? I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Bill, the drone views theory was until it's 100% the deal's done or whatever, DJI release a drone. Until it's absolutely signed into law, all the X's and T's are crossed.
You're saying-
Let's say it goes to the House tomorrow, gets passed. Then it has to go to the Senate. They have to come up with their version. That's going to take a little bit. When does the Senate go on break?
Almost all of August.
So
When the
if you
drone
haven't got
can't
it
come
done in
out.
the next 6 weeks, they may not even look at it.
And remember, if these people have so much power, why don't they call the FCC up and tell them, "Hey, don't approve that new DJI drone"? Don't these government agencies communicate with each other?
Nope.
Dan.
No, it looks like they actually work in August, or July and August. They just have more limited time periods. Oh wait, okay, I see. They reconvene on September 9th.
Yeah, they're almost at least off all of
So
August.
potentially we could be out of our drones by Christmas. I was saying, the way I see it is, I'm going to say 8 months to 18 months.
Okay.
Now,
That's what I'm saying.
theoretically, they can't brick your drone if it's not hooked to the internet, correct?
Yeah, and you
So
go
you
and Billy Kyle showed us you can go into your drone and turn off turn everything totally off so it
Right.
doesn't communicate with the internet at all.
So keep
Well,
your
DJI
Wi-Fi
turned
off.
off the sync today, right? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
your flight data is not synced anymore.
Yeah, you get an error message. What was it?
Yeah. So there's a whole week in July, 2 weeks in July that are off for the Senate, and then all of August almost.
Let's hope they take even a longer break this time.
So they have 4 days next week, if it was to pass. They have 11 days in July, 2 days in the beginning of August, just the 1st and 2nd, and then back on the 9th of September.
Somebody should
I'm
buy a
saying
Mini
no.
3, a Mini 3 Pro.
All of October and almost all of November.
Buy a Mini 4 Pro and mail it to Elise Stefanik. Maybe
Hey,
change your
I don't
mind.
want to be too political, but
Here's-
instead of tying this CCP bill in with the defense bill, I wish they'd have tied it in with the immigration bill because that bill will never get approved.
Yep.
Here's my thing, and what I'm curious about. Now, we the people supposedly run the democracy, right? And I saw that
We the people.
Jeff was talking earlier on Johnny's show about it being a representative democracy and so forth and so forth. That once they got beyond our vote, they don't give a shit about us anymore because our system has become so lobby infested that basically we can't count on those people to do what we're asking them anymore.
Power to the people, Bill.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they're going to use this as a feather in their cap, it's not going to be something that's going to take a lot of deliberate. They're not going to talk about it. They're not going to go into committee here. They're not going to go into subcommittees. They're going to say this is a simple thing that we can pass with bipartisan participation, and they're going to get it done.
We're all going to look good.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's not enough of us and we don't have a big enough voice. So, like Ron said, Ron's got a point. I think that, and like Dale said too, I think all the stuff that we're flying and that we own right now is safe. That if it goes beyond this and they go ahead and vote it, and they talk to the FCC and they get all that done, so things from that point on no longer work.
Stock up on batteries for your current drones.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that kind of thing too. But I don't see how they can, to me, since they're blaming all this shit as what the problem is. We elected these people. We put them in office. We pay their salaries. We let them, all this shit. Our taxes help. So here's my thing. I am sick and tired of hearing that the security warnings or whatever are so severe that we have to ban these things. I'm like, wait a minute, you work for me, I hired you, and now you're telling me I can't know what you're doing because I'm not smart enough and I'm not intelligent enough to comprehend the security measures that need to be in place to protect my country. Hey, asshole, I put you in your seat.
Yeah, I was smart enough to vote for you on the ballot.
Well, that's what I'm sick and tired of hearing, man. I'm tired of them saying, and it doesn't matter, each side of the administration, whether it's Republican, whether it's Democrat, whether it's independent, they all want to keep shit from us. And I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. There's no reason for them to keep secrets from us. Okay, defense stuff, I can get that. But if they're sending data, you need to show me the data stream. You need to show me what's coming from my drone and going home to the motherland that's endangering my family and my children, the same people I thought of when I put you in that chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have no right to continue to tell me I'm not intelligent enough to understand this security deal. I'm not smart enough to worry about my family and base my judgments and my vote upon that. But yet here, like he said, and I have to admit, Jeff had a good point. Once they get beyond our vote, they don't care. They don't care.
Right.
It's performing for whatever lobbyist has the biggest wad of cash in their hand.
And here's an old movie we talk about movie recommendations. The movie from the 70s, I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Network. Remember he screamed. Guy won Best Actor. He screamed it on TV. I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Well, I'm not saying there's some stuff in DJI's past that is questionable. That is not good.
Right. They were called that Kevin Fisker called them. They were data mining before 2017 and before. But
and there has been some
ancient history in the drone world now.
Well, and there's also been some human rights issues. We're not saying that DJI is above reproach. We're not saying that. We're simply saying that what they're trying to come at us with now is bullshit. And if it's not bullshit, it's not so sensitive that you can't expose it to us and explain to us why you're going to leave a $3,000 brick sitting on our desk.
And especially on police, fire, and first responders' desks.
Well, and like Vic was saying earlier on Johnny Herman's stream. I'm trying to get what's squared away.
Vic's been on every show there is recently. So
but he was talking about... He was talking about there's not going to be any fund to put tariffs on because there's simply just
4 years. Or they're saying they're collecting the tariff, but by the end of the 4 years, then the help for the first responders will be gone.
And then the American drones will be in place.
But how long does a drone last? I mean, you're going to buy this new American-made drone using those funds in the first 4 years, and then you're not going to have any more money to buy the new ones in the future. You know, drone lasts 4 years in a first responder situation.
We're gonna have 1080p drones again. Yay!
Actually, it's gonna be lower than that. 640.
All that money,
1080p drones,
720.
but they cost more than DJI drones.
That's what I mean. They can't even buy DJI drones right now unless they get special monies.
Yeah.
They
So,
expect them to pay 3 times the amount.
so what's the good news we have tonight for the people? Dale, what's the good side of all this?
I mean, I don't know. The Supreme Court's got a bunch of cases that they got to settle in June that we'll hear about, and then they go on vacation for 3 months. So, I that just makes me think the end of June and July is going to be pretty chaotic.
So start flying your drones like crazy over the next couple months. Get it all out of your system, right, Randy?
Yep. That's what
Fly
I was
every
thinking.
day.
Words out of my mouth.
Fly every day.
That's what I do.
You know what's
Fly
crazy
every
is
day.
I can't understand how drone nerds in Florida is doing tons of business. Now I know they sell into Latin America and stuff, so
That's a trip, man. That he noticed that.
I just keep thinking, like, if DJI
He
gets
noticed that my
banned,
shirt was a warning T-shirt from the band.
if DJI gets banned, I'm gonna save a lot of money.
I know I'm gonna be a wealthy man.
My wife's gonna hate my ass because I'm gonna be sitting on the couch grumbling like a bear all the time.
that's why you're getting your bamboo.
Yeah, you could, but he won't have anything to 3D print parts for it.
Yeah, exactly. What am I? I'm gonna 3D print. I'm gonna 3D print little drones so that I can have memories of my drones that used to fly.
3D print drones that look just like your old.
Wait a
favorite
minute. Where's the
DJI
fabric? I need a fabric. Somebody make me a fabric.
Guys, I got the BJI. BJI
drones.
Avic 3.
I got the USA drone. I'm gonna get a big USA made in USA sticker and put it on all my drones.
Exactly.
There you go.
Well, I mean, they've already put made in China on the damn Anzu drones.
I still got some more Inspire 3s.
I can
Is that made in China, Dale?
Is that the Temu version?
Yes, it's Temu.
Oh, sweet.
I just thought that was funny.
Have you flown that yet or no?
I have. It's a toy.
Is
That's
that
the
you really?
Aspire.
Come on, does
The
anybody here
Aspire
really
thing.
think that's gonna
It's
work?
That's right. It's the
Does anybody
Aspire.
think that's gonna work? Seriously, they take in the Anzu controller and they go, "Excuse me, Mrs. Stefanik, it's a typo. I know it says China, but it was assembled in Malaysia." So
Actually,
and
if you looked at the back, it said Wilmington, Delaware.
so part of it was it's just like we've got parts from Texas Instruments and a lot of Chinese
Wilmington,
shit.
Delaware.
I mean, think about it. We got a lot of American tech and Chinese stuff. We got a lot of Chinese stuff. We got another box to unbox.
Another drone?
Stay spicy. Ooh. Was this Pepper of the Month Club? Everybody eat your pepper. Yes, that's what I was saying. Everybody wear your gear. This was given to me by my good friend Will Frankhauser. Thank you.
Now,
Will.
with that happy band also, Bill?
I don't
Does that
know.
have
It doesn't.
Chinese components in it?
I don't think it has any FCC wiring that I'm aware of.
Okay.
It could. It could be broadcasting my brain activity to Motherland China right now.
Hey, fellas, I'm gonna have to run. I got a long day ahead of me.
Yeah, all right.
tomorrow.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much,
Thank
Randy.
you so much.
And we're glad that you were here to bitch with us.
Yeah,
Sorry we don't
I
have any
wouldn't
better
miss it.
news for you tonight, Randy.
Yeah, that's all right. I something's gonna happen. I don't think it's over yet. So
I'm going to start working on building the first American-made drone tomorrow. All
Wait a
American.
minute, Caleb's already doing that.
Who
Our
is?
friend's already doing that.
Okay, I'm already behind the curve.
Okay, so
I'll
from
support
what I
you,
was
Ron.
told, okay, did I told you, Angel, that Bob Dempsey will be here next week.
Um,
He is available
What is
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
So I'm gonna possibly try it. Thank you, Randy. It was good
Good
to
night,
have
Randy.
you. Thank you. Sorry. Night night. Have a good. Don't sleep tight. Don't
Bill,
let the
will
baby
this
wet.
drone band put a damper on the Las Vegas drone meetup in November? Now we
Yeah,
may not be flying drones then.
I think it'll be there in November. I don't see why not.
That may be
Uh,
We'll be
our
flying
last
new tech.
big blowout with
I
drones.
thought he told me the 16th through the 22nd is what he told me in a
Lance
message,
says no,
Lance.
not next week.
He told me the 16th through the 22nd. I shit you not.
I hope they don't take Lance's Avadas away from him.
No,
Yeah,
that would
he's
not be
got.
good.
Let's see.
You guys actually know Lance, don't you,
What time is it
personally?
now, guys?
Oh,
I
July,
gotta check what's on the
July.
music at 7.
I don't know what I was thinking.
So
July. He's coming. He's coming in July.
15th?
July 16th through 22nd.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
All those senators in Congress should be on vacation.
So he'll be open that
Like,
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay, cool. Lance,
I'll be there.
Lance knows some good spaces in Tacoma.
He was telling me. He's telling what he told me though. He put the old band back together.
I'll put the old band together.
Yeah, he putting the old band back together, and I think basically they're going to jam and see what it sounds like. Because he was telling me that he hadn't played in 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, and
What-
and here's the even funkier coincidence, right? Lance is on Bob's show today. They're
Okay.
talking, and it turns out that not only does Lance know the guy who happens to be a member in Bob's band who lives in Tacoma, Washington, Lance has been in the guy's house.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Wow. Lance gets around.
Yeah, see, look, his band buddy is my neighbor,
Wow.
which is pretty cool.
Do they write their own music?
Well, I'm assuming something along those lines, or
Well, maybe they
be
can write a drone
the
song.
greatest cover band ever known.
Maybe they can write a DJI drone band song.
He said July 16th and 17th, right?
Write that down.
I don't know
And
why I was
somebody's
thinking
gotta make a
June.
taco pizza.
I don't know why I was thinking June. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah,
So
we
that's
should
a
still,
Tuesday and a Wednesday.
right. And I'm gonna since Wednesday I'm gonna be
No
busy.
show that night, Bill?
Nope. I'm gonna go unless I don't know if because my wife is trying to get me to talk Bob into coming up here to eat. But if he's just going down there to be all bandied, then they're not gonna be able. I thought maybe if she was coming with him, that maybe they could come up here. But I don't know. We'll see because that's still a
it's
nice
lot
drive.
of moving parts.
Yeah,
I'll try to make that work. But I gotta go bring Mateo for guitar lesson now.
All right, thank you,
Sorry I
sir.
came on late, guys.
All right.
And Bill,
Good
just let
night,
me know.
Angel.
We're good. We'll see you later.
Good luck on your chords.
Yep.
All right, thank
Hopefully
you, guys.
Bye bye.
He'll
See
jam
ya.
out. Yep. All right.
Go
see you
jam
guys.
out. Go jam
Yeah.
out.
Not too loud now.
They'll
So-
gonna. Everybody's like,
now
it's
there's
almost
3.
7:00. We're. I'm
now there's 3.
melting. I'm melting.
All right, Bill. I sent you some lyrics in the chat.
Oh, you said
Oh, you write lyrics. Bill, you put the music to it.
Oh no. He's not going to bed. He's actually taking his son to guitar class.
Yes.
But yeah, he's going to go do that. Angel only sleeps about 4 hours a night. I don't see how he does it.
Well, he's young. He's a young man, right?
He's about to get married too.
Yeah. Well, he's a young man.
He's about to get married. He's getting married this month.
He'll be sleeping more then.
So Ron, do you have a sphere?
I do.
I wonder, are they still? How much are spheres now? I think
I doubt that
Dale was on.
I doubt that they still sell over an Insta360. I forget what it was when it came out. Was it? I don't know. I don't even know. 200. I don't even know. I haven't floated a thing in over probably a year and a half or whatever. I still have the Air 2S, so I can.
Oh, it says
still fly it.
discontinued. So they're on. If you
Well,
want one,
it's at least 2 year. It's at least 2 year old product, if not more.
but I mean, it's kind of funky that they would discontinue it.
Well, they should update it for the Air 3, right? Because the Air 2S is kind of discontinued as well. That's the only drone it works with.
Yep, that's the only drone it works with. But there is no way to purchase one directly to get a new one. You would have to buy one used now
Anybody that
at
has
this
a big
point.
interest in getting one, get a hold of me. I could always wheel and deal for my sphere.
Oh, will and deal for your sphere. Ron would like to sell his sphere. I still
Well,
have a 2S.
I still have my Air 2S also.
They're going for $430 each online.
Used on eBay or something?
Yeah, eBay and Veradrone. Here's another one that's going for 270 used on eBay. I'm assuming this one they're saying 429 would be a new one.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I would think. Anyway, so
I mean, let me give you let me give you the 60-second review, Bill.
Lance
I mean,
offered you. Oh, Lance, do you have a sphere? Lance has a sphere. Sphere.
no, no, before it works well, but of course, it makes your drone fly like you cut your drone's flight ability in half by putting that thing on it. I mean, the drone, it doesn't have the range, it doesn't fly as well. I mean, it deteriorates the flight of your drone every way you could think so.
So
When you
I'm
put that on.
flying a 360-degree spark. I can live with that.
Somewhat, yes, maybe a little bit better than that. But
That's what I'm trying to say. So,
yeah.
I mean, if I'm getting a 360-degree film from basically a Spark, which was 1080p and a 2-axis gimbal,
Yeah.
which and it had digital stabilization too, right?
And you remember, it was one of the first drones with avoidance.
It was just so cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
I've actually looked into actually trying to find one of those.
Somebody just Sean the drone just flew his Spark for the first time in like 3 years recently, and it flew fine.
Sean the drone.
Sean, he's changed his channel name a whole bunch of times. The original Drone Seeker.
The original. Oh, okay, yeah.
Sean Matthews. He's left the
Yeah.
Drone Seekers, but he is a new channel, the Sean Drone. But anyhow, the beauty of the spear though is you're not only shooting with the 360 spear, you can still shoot with your 1-inch 5K camera on the Air 2S also.
Okay, so Lance is saying they went out 6 months ago.
Okay.
Maybe a month after that, so 5 months ago that they fit.
Well, again, makes sense. Why are you making a product for a drone that's discontinued?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that is interesting. But after, I don't know. Well, the thing about it is, so according to, if we look at it the way that they're saying, according to what Dale was talking about, could they import older model drones after something like that got banned?
It's a good question.
I mean, if it's under the current license, but if they completely ban all licensing period from them, like removed it, maybe they can't import any of the stuff that's existing.
And of course, a lot of that terminology could be challenged in the courts.
A lot of that terminology shot both today.
If the bill's not written to, the all the way legally through. I shot today with both the. What did he say? Oh, I shot.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I
Air
shot
2S and the
both
Sphere.
today, Air 2S and Sphere.
Yeah, he wants to
kept
make a
bothering
sphere
DJI
for
to
the
make a
Mavic 3. Well, they're not going to make anything for the Mavic 3 if it's banned, Lance.
Well, not just
Well,
that, but
not in the U.S. anyway.
Insta360 makes the Sphere. That would be who you'd have to ask anyway.
Well, you know what's coming out tomorrow, guys. The Go 3S is coming out tomorrow with 4K.
Whoop-de-doo.
Okay, I got to bring this up, Bill and Ron, because I'm kind of laughing. I didn't read through that whole script, and I'm not a singer, so this is going to sound more like rhyming. So this is what ChatGPT wrote for lyrics
Okay.
about a DJI drone ban.
Okay.
That's all I ask.
Okay.
I've
There we
been
go.
flying high with my
Sounds
DJI,
please.
scanning fields and skies, watching from on high, but there's a bill in the works threatening my wings, granting dreams, and silencing the things I sing. Oh, don't ban my DJI. Let it soar, let it fly through the fields and the skies, reaching for the heights. Innovations, what we need. Don't let this industry bleed. Oh, don't ban my DJI. Let it soar, let it fly. Farmers in fields are counting on these eyes, spraying crops, saving time, watching harvest rise. But powers that be, they don't understand how these drones are a lifeline, not a threat to the land. Oh, don't ban my DJI. Let it soar, let it fly through the fields and the skies, reaching for the heights. Innovation is what we need. Don't let this industry bleed. Oh, don't ban my DJI, let it soar, let it fly. We need progress, not fear, and technology that's clear to lead us to a brighter day. Don't take our tools away from farmers to skies in the future in our eyes. Let's work together, find a way. Let these drones stay. Oh, don't ban my DJI. Let it soar, let it fly through the fields and the skies, reaching for the heights. Innovation's what we need. Don't let this industry bleed, and don't ban my DJI. Let it soar, let it fly. Let's raise our voices high for the drones in the sky. Keep the future bright and free for you and me. Oh, don't ban my DJI. Let it soar, let it fly. Together we can find a way to let these dreams stay.
Damn.
I did not say anything about farmers. So how did it know about farmers?
That it's gotten smarter.
Now we need Lance and his band to put some music to it.
That's unreal. No, Bob.
Bob.
Bob and his band. Who happens to be
Somebody in their band put
who
some
happens
music
to,
to it.
and his
some
bandmate who
music
happens
to
to
it.
be Lance's neighbor. Man, you ought to. I would like copy and paste that on
Send it to
Twitter.
Miss Stefanik.
No, I would copy and paste that and put it on Twitter. And even
Yeah.
better, put it on Twitter and tag DJI and Stefanik. And
Okay.
what's his name? The dude from Florida. What's his name?
Hyatt Hilton, what was it?
Rubio?
Not
No,
Rubio, the other guy.
One that Caleb was all bent out of shape over. What was his name?
Was there an H in it?
Well,
Anyhow,
Rick
put
Scott.
it on. Put it any
Rick
place you can
Scott.
put it. Facebook.
Rick Scott.
Rick Scott.
Scott.
Rick's
So-
a big anti-droner.
Well, I'm just trying to say that I would put it on X, and I would tag DJI Global, and I would tag Elise Stefanik, and then Rick Scott, all three of them, and then see and then go from there. But anyway, crazy. I guess we're at that time of day.
Yes.
We've all had our good release. So what do we want? Okay, I'm predicting. I'm going to say now. I'm going to really be optimistic,
Yes.
and I'm going to go way out on a limb and say 18 months is the minimum now, the earliest. I'm going to go ahead and forego my 8 months and say 18 months because I'm going to believe in you all. I'm going to say there's so much bureaucracy and red tape still that it's going to bog it down enough. And I'm going to have faith in Ron's hope that they're going to get a lawyer and they're going to fight this in court. So I'm going to go ahead and say at the earliest 18 months, at the latest, I don't know. But it's going to happen.
18 months pushes us almost to 2026. And Bill, you talk about legal things. We as the users could all come up with one of those class action suits.
But if we've got Homeland Security saying that drones are too dangerous for the average consumer, they're not going to give them back. Homeland Security saying that. So they're trying to say that there's some kind of terror basis from our drones.
But remember, a court case would make them have to prove that in court, not just say it.
The whole point is it's still Homeland Security. They really don't have to prove a whole hell of a lot to get by with it. You know, I mean, they can pretty much enact shit and say, oh, it's Homeland Security, you know? I mean, I don't know. What do you all think? What do y'all think before we get off here?
Well, Homeland Security was the organization that what's the guy that was he was a what do you call? He didn't work for him directly, but the guy's in Russia now. He let the cat out of the bag that the U.S. Security were spying on its own citizens.
Shock of all shocks. It's called.
But
all drone pilots are spied on by their government too. It's
Yeah.
called remote ID.
Yeah, so I mean,
follow us
Homeland,
everywhere
they're
we
as
go.
guilty of spying as anybody in China is on us.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. They're pissed off because somebody else was following us around too. Like I said, I've heard people giving me like I've heard people say, "Hey, we're talking about a mobile video, directional platform." Da 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 da. Okay, I get all that. But I'm not so stupid to have put you in that seat, and you're not anointed above me suddenly by me giving you that seat. that means that you're more intelligent than me, that you're more special than me. It simply means that I'm asking you to represent my voice. Not that you have all these big giant decisions and everything, but that you're supposed to represent my voice. And
Right.
that's why they're there.
Yeah, I don't
So-
need your voice. You're supposed to represent my voice.
Yeah, exactly. But like he was trying to say, is once they get beyond our vote, they don't give a shit anymore. They're out for the highest dollar, whoever's willing to buy them. So I don't know what we're going to do about that. And I guess the lobbyist portion of our government needs to somehow change.
Keep all the lobbyists out of Washington.
Yeah, get rid of them. Period. Just get rid of them.
Or
Don't have all this big pay
or,
coming in.
or get the drone community gets the biggest lobbyists around.
Well, I'm pretty sure the
We can get super
Constitution.
lobbyists.
Here's what we got to do. Here's where I'm going to end on, and we'll be something. I swear we're going to be sweeter and more uplifting next week. But
Okay.
the Constitution says, "We the people, not we the corporate America."
Yeah, there you go. And good ending. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night, folks.
All right. See y'all next week.
See you next
Have a good
week.
one.